Celsius, Alex Mashinsky. We both knew him. We watched this thing go down the tubes. What's your thoughts on what happened?
Well, I mean, it put a financial hurting on us here. I mean, we had $3 million in there that was 12 or $15 million at the peak, just gone overnight. And so we certainly, look, and you know this, Brian, you're a good guy. I know that. It's pretty obvious to meet and talk to somebody and know they're a good person, right? Well, good people tend to trust people too much because I have that problem. I trust people on a high level that they really haven't necessarily given me any reason to trust them. Alex Mashinsky was one of these people. I trusted Alex for sure. I bought into what he was selling. I thought he always sounded like he had crypto's best interest at heart. Seemed like he was for the common person. And I think that's how he started out. But what happened is in the DeFi summer of 2020, they were loaning out other people's money and they were doing it on things that were kind of risky. But in DeFi, everything was blown up in 2020 and they made money hand over fist. And that's probably how they were able to buy all these Bitcoin miners they have, expand their business, hire new people, open locations across the world. And what happened is they got fat and they got used to that. They got used to that big money. And so when things slowed down and the DeFi returns got to be much lower, they started doing riskier and riskier and riskier things with other people's money. To the point where I try to make this comparison. What Celsius was at the end before it became insolvent was basically the guy at the blackjack table at 5:15 a.m. who's lost all of his money and is down to his last $100 bill. Roulette would probably be a better example, and takes his last $100 bill and puts it on black 33, which I did do that one time. I was down to my last 100 and I put it on 33 and I did win. But it's very rare that you actually win. Alex Mashinsky did not win and lost everybody's money. And he is an absolute narcissist. This is a guy who still will not give up the ghost. He needs to understand he has failed. He started out to try to, bring the next 100 million people in crypto or, be the anti-crypto or the anti-bank. He became the crypto bank. And he probably is responsible for pushing out the next 100 million people out of crypto instead of into crypto. And so, I've got a lot of egg on my face from what happened there, because not only financially from our company standpoint, but this is a company we trusted. We had Alex Mashinsky on the show several times, had him as one of the most respected people in crypto, and yet come to find out the money got to him and he became one of the most evil people in crypto, one of the biggest villains in crypto. Put him right up there with SBF. But the fact is it's a very sad situation. I think we all learned that as people who talk about crypto for a living, is we have to do a much better job of being skeptical and protecting people from not owning your own private keys. I used to say, I thought, and I think this was probably true before Celsius and Voyager and, what was the other one? And Vald, and all of these insolvencies. I used to think that probably more people lost money not understanding how to use a wallet and transferring money to the wrong place than it actually lost money losing it sitting on an exchange. Well, with the $5 billion, that Celsius had that they didn't actually have, I mean, they claim to have I think it's 4.4 out of 5.6 or something like that. But if you really break that down, it's really not even close to that, because a lot of that value was in their Cell token, which is now basically worthless. That they can't, even if they sold it, then it would go to zero, and all of these things. It wasn't actually worth that much. But with this much money people have lost, now I think you can't safely say that anymore. More people have lost money on insolvent exchanges than they have through transferring money to the wrong place, being a novice. So what we try to do now is teach people to buy a ledger, learn how to use it, make sure you got full command over it before you send your money, but do not keep your money on exchanges. Do not keep your money on third parties. If you have an appreciating asset you're earning 8 to 10% on, but the exchange loses the crypto and you don't actually ever withdraw that money, then you didn't actually make any money. And I think, people were trading 4, 5, 6% for their life savings. And, a lot of people didn't understand that's what they were doing. I certainly never thought this was going to be possible. And it's a bad situation all the way around. And the fact that Alex Mashinsky, the way he's positioned himself to, well, you know what? We have all these Bitcoin miners going. We know we owe these people all this money, but we still want to keep our profits from the Bitcoin mining that we're doing under the same company name. What? Like how in your brain can that possibly make sense? Don't you feel like you have a duty to try to make your people whole that you conned into your scam? I guess not. And I guess that's really where my faith in Alex Mashinsky has really gone to zero. He's still fighting, saying he's going to bring the company. Alex, no one's ever going to believe you again, ever. I think that's what's got to get through his brain.
Yeah, look, I appreciate you saying that. And again, you make a great few points there. I mean, first of all, and in our Crypto and DeFi Academy, we're getting people on ledgers from day one, and we're getting people to own their own keys. But I'm also warning them that, from the beginning, you might lose more of your crypto by forgetting where you put it. One of my sons are 5 and 6 years old, and one night when I was reading them a story about pirates, I said, "Why does a pirate have a treasure map?" And I stopped for a second and really thought about it, and I was like, because they don't have private keys. And so a lot of pirates bury their treasure and never find it again. And like you said, pre a bunch of these failures, maybe the biggest risk that you had for your own keys was losing them. But now, it looks like maybe the biggest risk was putting them on a platform. As far as Alex, it's a shame. I got to know him well as well. I had him on the show. I met his wife. Yeah. I was at a Celsius meetup here. The Celsius community was an amazing community. Love these people. And I think he started off with great intentions. He was a guy that had the personality to create a great change. And I think what happened was, you're right. They got used to these returns. They got used to these client acquisitions. Things got squeezed a little bit. You start cheating a little here. You start cheating a little there. This happens on Wall Street, with all the scandals that happened with the Madoffs and all that stuff. And then you find yourself in a big old mess. You don't know how you got overextended. Then you start making really bad decisions. And guess what? Your shareholders, your investors lose it all, and you realize, okay, wow, I messed up a long time ago. And I think that's what happened. Yeah. It's a shame to see, but I guess we learn, right? That's what you do in crypto. You learn.
Well, and I think one thing that is really important for people to understand is, staking by itself is not a horrible thing when you're doing it on chain. Like if you want to do an ETH validator node, or we have a Cardano staking pool called the Bit Pool. People can stake their AID on. You still own your private keys when you're staking on chain, but it's the risk of giving it to a third party and letting them try to get the return from you. And now we find out how they were getting the return was basically gambling all night at a casino. It really makes you realize, like, really on-chain staking at this point is about the only good thing, the only safe way to do it. And I just want to point that out because, we're not saying staking is bad if you're doing it on-chain. It's the third-party platforms that act as exchanges, that are responsible for your money. Those are the people you don't need to trust.
I'm looking for partners, collaborators, colleagues who want to join forces with me around the globe and create real value, generational wealth, and financial freedom for everyone else around the world. Get involved in the cryptocurrency markets, get involved in the NFT markets. This is your moment. Life all comes down to a few moments. Don't let this pass. Now it's not too late. Next year's going to be too late. Ultimately, this is about freedom. That's the way I see it. This is about giving power back to the people and enabling billions of people worldwide to use the financial markets to improve their lives and those of their friends and their families and their communities. Honestly, I think it's a violation of human rights not to allow people basic access to financial services. Because right now people are being kept in the dark, they're being robbed of education, and it's a travesty. And so I'm looking for people that want to join me and be a part of this solution. And that all happens inside the DeFi Academy. The gains my students are making are absolutely amazing. Double, triple digit gains in the first month alone. That's amazing. This will change your life. Now is the time to get involved. I'm gonna tell you exactly how my students in my academy made money in the last 30 days. I'm talking about real trading results. And let me just whet your appetite a little bit. Let me hit you with some numbers. I'm talking Brendan from New Zealand is up 68.77% on the month. Steve from Europe up 83%. Albert in Singapore up 169.9% on one single trade. I got Susan up 153% on her call options alone. Also rocking 139% returns and 442% returns as well on individual trades. These are people that are changing their financial future in the last 30 days, but it's based on trading discipline.
I've graduated over 500 students from inside my academy from over 54 countries around the world. It's amazing. When it comes to crypto, DeFi, and blockchain, we love this space. We truly believe it's the future. This is down to our core. It's authentic to what we're doing, and everybody can tell through the camera because you can't make this stuff up. If you're watching me now, wherever you are, I implore you, take 60 seconds right now and join my academy. Apply today. Now you've got a chance. Life all comes down to a few moments. What are you gonna do? What's the choice that you're going to make?